Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll kick off the session for this afternoon. And today, we're here to talk about collaboration. Right. So collaboration is defined as an action of working with someone to produce something. But in this day of digital transformation, we have overused the word collaboration so much that it's really lost all its meaning. So when I say that Dhruv and I need to collaborate more, what does that actually mean? How do we make collaboration actionable again? And if we have deployed technologies like Teams, SharePoint, Yammer, does that mean that people are collaborating more? Right? So this is what I want you to start to think about. So I actually prefer the second definition of collaboration. Right? Because the concept of collaboration existed well before the collaboration technologies came at the forefront. So collaboration actually is not technology. Collaboration is a set of behaviors. And I work with many IT organizations, and many of them believe that once they have deployed the technology, the work is done, and that it is the business who look after the adoption and the value realization. So how many of you have come across organizations that think exactly that? Yeah? So I guess I wanted to talk about the concept of goal displacement. And hands up if you are familiar with the concept of goal displacement. Right, so let me cover that quickly. So once again, the technology has been brought into the organization to help deliver value. But if the business don't see value of the technology, suddenly technology becomes a blocker. It is perceived as a blocker. And the business think that IT just want us to do our job plus use all this new technology that they're giving us. Right? But really, we know that's not the intent. Technology has not been brought in to make people's life more difficult, but actually to help them. So how do you turn that concept around? Well, for Office 365, the first thing I do is I go to the business and to all the employees and tell them, Office 365 is not your solution. And I know that might sound odd, but really, if it's not the solution, it can't be a problem. It can't be your blocker. Right? I always say Office 365 is an enabler. It will enable you to do things quicker, faster, cheaper, and easier. But what is it that you are trying to do? What problem are you trying to solve? Because once you understand your problem, then you are able to design a solution. And in my experience, the solution is usually two parts. The first part is the right business process that enables you to do what you need to do. And the second part to your solution is the right behaviors of all the people that work within that business process. And it's the combination of the business process and the behaviors that help you create the right solution. And once you understand the right solution, then you are able to identify what components of Office 365 will enable you to implement that solution. Right? So once again, technology is really not the blocker, and collaboration is not about technology. It is about a set of business processes. It's about the right behaviors. So if you actually think about collaboration as a concept, what is collaboration? What does it actually mean for people to collaborate? So the research that I've done, and really reviewing a lot of the existing literature, collaboration is a combination of a common goal, effort, and commitment, underpinned by a strong attention. And really, that is the combination, that is the formula for collaboration. As I said, technology is an enabler, right? But it is not collaboration itself. So attention is your currency for a good collaborative outcome. So the question is, well, how does attention influence the way we collaborate? So let's quickly see how our attention works. So let's assume that we are putting a weekly report together, right? And we're using Word to do that. Now the red dot on the screen is your attention. Now let's follow what happens with the red dot. So we are starting to work on our weekly report, and suddenly we get an email from our good friend, John, and we quickly move our attention to our email, we read our email, and now we want to go back to doing a Word document. Now watch what happens to our attention very carefully. So as you see, our attention actually has to recap the work that it's done, recreate the context before moving on to doing the next part of our weekly report. Now, while you're doing that, our good friend Janice pops up over the cubicle, says hello, and our attention has just gone to say hello to Janice. And now we need to bring our attention back to doing our weekly report. And once again, our attention needs to recap and recreate context before it can continue to do further work. And while you're just about to finish, our good friend Matt sends you a message on Teams. And you go there, read his message, you respond to it, and when your attention comes back to your weekly report, it has to do a lot of recapping before you can complete the work. So attention is a really powerful currency, and that helps you work out how you're going to collaborate. And the research done by neuroscientist and psychologist Dr. Daniel Levitin from the University of Montreal actually talked about how, as humans, we are biologically incapable of multitasking. We have one attention, one thing we can focus at a time. If we try and do multiple things at the same time, we end up fractioning our attention into much smaller pieces, and our ability to get anything done reduces. The neural switch that helps our attention move from one task to another is actually set within our limbic system in an area called the insula. And it is the ability of our insula, right, which is right next to our optus chiasma, about 2 inches above the top of our head, which actually figures out how we're going to manage the most important currency we have for collaboration. Research has shown that people who work on one activity at a time, what we call as unitasking, right, about 40 minutes to 60 minutes at a time, feel like that they're getting less work done. But compared to people who claim to multitask, look at objective measurements, end up getting a lot more work done. So focusing on one thing at a time and getting it done is actually quite beneficial. So the question is, how do we strengthen our attention? Research done by Dr. Ramesh Manocha from the University of New South Wales in Australia talked about a technique called mental stillness that helps to strengthen the way our attention works. So if I could just have all your attention for a second, and I get you to raise your right hand, right? We'll try a little experiment together. So take our right hand and put it right on top of your head, right where the fontanelle bone area is. And if you just close your eyes for a second and put your attention on where your hand is touching the top of your head, right? And keeping your eyes closed, just raise your hand up about 2 inches above the top of your head. And see if you can refocus your attention on where your hand is, 2 inches above the top of your head, right? Now, open your eyes, bring your hand back on your lap, but see if you can still focus your attention 2 inches above the top of your head. How many of you are still able to focus your attention 2 inches above the top of your head? Right? Now, this shows that you are able to train your attention, right? And you're actually able to get much better at using this currency of attention. Now, the university actually created an app called Mental Stillness that is available for free on both the Android as well as the iOS platforms. So I would encourage you to download this and practice the mental stillness exercise. But now that you're good at managing your attention, how do you use that to become more collaborative within an organization? And this is where we have created what's called the Modern Collaboration Architecture, or the MOCA, to help you look at how Office 365 can help your organization collaborate more. And really what it looks at is, for every individual that you hire within an organization, You usually hire them based on their skills, their experience, the right mindset, and as a result, you give them some KPIs. And for individuals to be able to find information, organize themselves, create new content, and reflect on their performance, they need a set of predefined capabilities. And Office 365 has created a set of apps that actually help individuals become more productive. And it's great for individuals to be productive, but over time, you do need to work with other people. So you can sort of expand your ability to have an impact. And this is where I'd like to introduce you to the concept of a team. A team is defined as a group of individuals with interdependent activities that work together towards a common outcome. Right? Which means just because you all report to the same manager doesn't necessarily mean you're a team. Not unless you have interdependency in your work. Right? So if you look around, if you have a group of people across the organization, even though they may not report to the same manager, as long as they're working together towards a same outcome, you are actually closer to a definition of a team. So teams, similar to individuals, right, need a set of capabilities. But what's really important for a team to be successful is a team needs to have a clear outcome defined. They need a clear direction. They also need a leader who is accountable for that direction and that outcome. A team has defined processes. You need to be able to look at the inputs coming into the team, how it gets processed, and the outcome that you're looking to drive at the end. You're looking for the right skills, clear roles and responsibilities, and that helps you identify the right membership for your team. And a team needs to be able to find information, organize itself, create new content, and reflect on its own performance. And to do that, Office 365 provides a whole range of capabilities. Now, once again, Office 365 has a suite of different apps that help address the different needs of a particular team. Now, teamwork is great, right? But what you'll find that you are often a part of multiple teams. About 4 or 5 teams is something that's very common for most people. And we don't always know everything that we need to know to be able to be effective in all the teams. And that's why we have the 70-20-10 readiness strategy. How many of you have heard of the 70-20-10 readiness? Yes, so a few people have. So what that talks about is that 70% of your time learning new things, you learn that from people who you work closely with. So maybe just have a quick think about how many people you work closely with every single day. Because it is that close group of people where you are learning 70% of your knowledge from. Now, for some of you, that'll be a good thought. For some of you, that would be a scary thought, depending on the people that you work with. And so the question is, how do you expand that and learn from the whole organization that you work with? Let me introduce you to the concept of a community. So a community is defined as a group of individuals with a common interest or a common passion, right? And communities, similar to that of the other capabilities, need to have a clear interest, a clear passion, a clear direction. It needs to have a facilitator. It is really focused on innovation and clash of ideas across the organization. And it needs a clear membership. And a community needs to facilitate, find and share, innovate, and capture experiences. And once again, there's a whole range of capabilities provided by Office 365 to enable that. And as you can see, Yammer is our community management platform within the Office 365 suite. So the question is, we have communities, we have teams. Why do we have both of them? How do they work together? So if you look at a team membership, because there is interdependency in the work, your membership is mandatory because it's required. Your skills are required for us to achieve the outcome for that team. So you can't really pick and choose which teams you are always a part of. Whereas for a community, your membership is optional because it's based on your interest, your passion, your set of experiences that you want to share. Because of the interdependency that team has on different people's activities, each one of those interdependencies is a risk. If an interdependency is not met, you're potentially compromising the team outcome. So to minimize that risk, the research done by Stanford University shows that 5 to 12 people is a good team size. Anything more than 12 people, now you just have to manage additional risk. Whereas a community, the larger the community, the better. The more ideas, the more perspectives, and you can come up with more innovative conversations in the larger community. A team is focused on the delivery of a clear outcome. And these outcomes are usually aligned with the organization's strategic priorities. So they are really focused on delivery. Whereas a community is really focused on learning, on innovating, about capturing employee experiences and creating engagement across the organization. So it is not really a teams or a community conversation. Teams and Yammer both play a very important part of an organization dynamic ecosystem. So we have looked at teams, individuals, and communities. In addition to that, we have a whole range of organizational capabilities we also need to think about. And these organizational capabilities include reflection, communication, store and collection of organizational-wide content, as well as employee enablement. And there are a whole range of capabilities, right, that actually support that. And one of the key things for an organization adoption program to be successful is that there needs to be active and visible sponsorship from the leadership team. Right? That was one of the key success criteria. An organizational focus needs to look at culture and behavior change across the organization. And Office 365 actually enables that. So a lot of the times I see IT deploying the technology and then not thinking about what that will actually do to the culture of an organization. Well, Office 365 disrupts a culture of an organization. Right? We do need to think about, are we disrupting the organization in a productive way? Or are we disrupting it in a negative way? Right? And that is a conversation that I always encourage organizations to have early on in the deployment program. These organizational capabilities enable communities, individuals, as well as teams to be successful. And that's why they're really important. So I guess we have talked about individual productivity, team productivity, community management, and organizational capability. And really, this is how I explain Office 365 to my customers. So the question is, what is the difference between usage and adoption of Office 365? Usage, in my experience, is when we use the technology in an ad hoc way. Right? So for example, Dhruv and I need to plan our lunch, and today I'll send him an email, tomorrow I'll give him a Skype message, the day after I'll ping him on Teams, and because he's moved from Skype to Teams, he hasn't received the Skype message, but the day after that I'll send him a text message. Right? So I'm still getting my work done, I'm still getting lunch organized with Dhruv, but because it's ad hoc use of technology, right, there is no consistent experience from Dhruv's perspective. And that creates a lot of confusion in how an organization ends up using the different products. Whereas adoption is defined as deep, habitual usage that creates tangible value. Right? So it's like, think about it as like brushing your teeth. Deep habitual usage. We all do it every single day. We don't have to think about it. And there's clear, tangible value of brushing our teeth. But just the first day we got given the toothbrush, we didn't create the habit on the same day. We actually have to work on creating the habit. And that's how adoption with Office 365 is like. It's about creating those good habits. And those habits are really a choice that each end user makes for themselves, each employee makes for themselves. And we need to help them make that decision and take them through a change management-led journey. Here are some other resources that you can leverage. So we have an adoption white paper that we have published at aka.ms/adopting modern workplace. It's a 3-part series that tell you a little bit about how you can use adoption principles, a change management-led approach to driving end-user change, as well as it looks at redefining the role of the CIO. We also have the modern collaboration architecture, so the slides that you have seen all on one page, and that's available at aka.ms/MOCA, or aka.ms/MOCA. These are a whole range of other adoption sessions that you'll see during the week. I'm the first one. The next session is going to happen straight after this, upstairs. And that's going to be about change management, so I would really recommend that you go and join that. I will be available at the Microsoft 365 adoption booth straight after this session if you want to talk about driving adoption within your organizations. And I'll be there Tuesday and Wednesday mornings as well, should you want to talk deeper. And before you leave, I would love to hear your feedback on how this session went, so we can improve this conversation for you in the future. Thank you very much. My name is Rishi Nikolai. Thank you for spending your time with us.